won't get annoying immediately. There you go.
Coming at you from the Steel City, you're listening to Poor Man's Podcast, Pittsburgh's premier comedy podcast. Your weekly dose of humor, hosted by Chris Hopper and with a new special guest each week. And here's your host, Chris Hopper. Woo! Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Poor Man's Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Along with me, as always, is the wonderful, is the reliable, is the gorgeous Cheech. Cheech, how are you this week?
Pretty good, guys. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. You seem to be in a heck of a good mood, man. You're bubbly today.
Hell of a mood.
Yeah?
Hell of a
Excellent.
mood.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Your smile makes me melt inside.
Oh, baby.
Joining us as well, the voice we all know and love, is Danny Kaufman. that was the best I had in my head right there. So
Thank you so
that was
much.
half-assed at best. Danny, how are you tonight?
I am just full of peace and blessings on this Monday. I'm feeling the bubbly energy from Cheech. It's going to be a good episode.
Absolutely. We have a big episode. It's our 100th episode, so it needs to
It
be a big
is
episode.
our 100th episode.
Absolutely.
An
It's
honor.
And we have a couple guests today.
We do.
Joining us in the first half, we have Jeremy and Dan from Bellevue's Rhythm and Brews. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again, Jeremy. Dan, this is the first time. Thanks for coming on.
This is. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely. They brought in some beers that are going to be featured. Well, at least the breweries will be featured at Bellevue Rhythm and Brews. So we will discuss that very shortly. Cheech, gonna hit the rundown for us. Ladies and gentlemen, the rundown. I tried that. That was the first night we did that. We're trying a lot of firsts today. Cheech is the 100th episode.
We're
what are you
trying
gonna
to
do,
get
man?
it right, you know?
The rundown. Well, that's ironic. That's funny. The thing I have here is just 100th episode. Nailed it. All right, number 2, Rhythm and Brews, 2 for 2. Guest Terry Jones will be here in the second half. I'm excited to talk to him. Actor, rapper, comedian. He does a lot of different things. I think he's just filming something. So
Oh, wow.
I'm excited to talk to him. And then, as always, we're going to wrap up the show with the new news with Danny Kaufman. But,
Best segment,
yeah.
arguably.
The what?
I said the best segment.
That's what,
arguably.
yeah, that's what the fans think, and who am I to tell them what to think? A couple things we want to hit on before we get into the Rhythm and Brews stuff. Next week, this is a big month for us. We have our 2-year anniversary next month. Yeah, thanks, Cheech.
You're welcome.
The authenticity, it's great, man.
Yay!
Yeah. It's like watching Scooby-Doo all the time with the exact same laughter every single time. But yeah, there we go. Jinkies. We have our 2-year anniversary. We have Best of the Berg. Danny, tell everyone to vote for us.
Vote for us. Best of the Berg. I mean, Obvi.
There we go. I wanted to break up my voice for a minute because
Yes.
I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I got you.
We have to touch on this for sure. Danny, tell everybody about last Wednesday.
Oh, last Wednesday was really fun. We had the live show. I drank a lot of tequila that night, but it was a
Fuck
really
yeah,
good
you did.
time. I felt like the
Was the-
crowd
was
was
the
having a
cheering
good
for that?
time.
What's that?
Where's the cheering for that? For the tequila.
Thank you. Thank you, Tequila Danny did
Actually,
make an
it's-
appearance. Yes.
It's more like that wah, wah. There you go,
Literally.
Cheech. We'll edit that in. That's close enough.
But the game show segment, I mean, the stand-up was great,
Yeah.
but the game show segment.
Did you enjoy it? Because I don't remember
loved
it.
I don't.
Okay.
I remember part of it.
Mine was more because I think I was just rocking back and forth trying to read the questions because that's my biggest fear is not like talking in front of people, but reading in front of people. You know, I didn't have the how fat is Frida? How fat was she? Because we were doing the match game thing.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we did that, and it ended up going pretty well, Danny.
I think it went really great.
Yeah.
Everyone had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah,
and
everyone-
obviously your outfit was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I had the 70s style blazer.
The blazer can't be matched.
It can.
Yeah, yeah.
It's too good.
Absolutely. Plus, we had Aaron Kleiber, who absolutely killed it. It was good. He said that was the first time he performed in a couple months now. He was just touring with Brad Williams. I think I've said that before, but Brad's so funny.
That's
and that's
awesome.
insane that he tours with him.
Yeah, it's
Um,
huge.
Yeah, ironically.
LOL. You know, you know.
Bye.
Absolutely. Was there anything else? Oh, yeah. Jeff Fieldhouse and Eric Nesby, thank you to all of them. Thank you to anybody who came. We will have the audio for the interviews and for the game show, and we'll have video for that. The stand-up we won't have. If you want to hear their stand-up, you're just going to have to go see them, I guess.
You have to see them
That's
live.
that's the way to do it, yeah. You got to see the live performance. It's not doing it justice. But that's everything I want to hit on in the rundown. These beers are sitting in front of us, and so are Jeremy and Dan, who are as delicious looking as these. You're going to have to watch the video for sure. But let's get into this. Jeremy, do you want to tell everybody, I guess, a little bit about what Rhythm and Brews is?
Yeah. So we actually we got to do it last year, and Rhythm and Brews this year is Saturday, August 19th from 4 to 9. We actually increased the time on it. We changed a few things. Last year was our first year doing it. Sabrina Miller actually asked me if I wanted to do it, and the first person I could think of to help me with that would be Dan. And we put that together without having any clue really how to do it. We visited a lot of breweries, poor us, right? And,
Someone has to do it.
yeah, and I know, it's a tough job, but it was interesting because, well, they didn't know who we were, right? And anybody can go like, oh, I'm gonna do a brewery fest.
Yeah.
And
I recommend people do that, actually. That sounds like a good way to.
I'm gonna have it in my backyard. And we managed to put it together. We had 15 breweries, and the way that we do it, it's different, right? So a lot of brewery festivals, they will set up a bunch of tents. You walk around from tent to tent, you get your drinks, that's it, right? And what we're trying to do is spotlight Bellevue specifically. And I listened to the podcast that you guys did there live last year.
Yeah.
And Dustin from Hitchhiker. So Hitchhiker does a lot of these, you know what I mean? But he said something that really resonated with me as far as the way we were doing it. And he was like, you know, this is more a block party.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? And we set up the breweries with the businesses. We shut down a big part of Lincoln Avenue so you can walk around. There's games in the street. That was Dan's idea. I'm like, well, I don't want to do vendors because I don't want people just selling a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like making this a whole monetary thing.
Right.
Dan's like, let's do games, right? And I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we had a whole bunch of that happening and music and everything else, and we ended up selling out last year.
Yeah.
Initially, you know, I'm a relatively ambitious person, and Bonafide Bellevue supports us doing this. They actually trusted us to do this without really knowing us. And I told them in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, I want to get 1,000 people. And they're like, maybe you should aim for 500. So you have to get in excess of that, right?
Yeah.
And you plan and you have everything happening. And we sold out at 675 tickets.
Yeah.
Damn.
And first time. And people were pissed that we sold out. They're like, I was coming down, I have friends coming from Erie, blah, blah, blah. So this year we're making it a lot bigger.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, here's the thing though. So it's still a limited number of tickets. We're trying to make that point from the get-go because the last week of it is when they got gobbled up. Everybody procrastinates, right?
Yeah.
And we're still 4 months out. But we can only do so much. This is a small town, and we have to accommodate all that. And we have to make it safe, and we have to make it reasonable, and we can't have people, falling all over the place and whatever.
Right.
So we're still limiting the number of tickets, but we are doing more. We're lengthening the amount of time. And we're actually we're going to have 20 breweries this time.
And how many were last year?
15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it
so
felt like there were a lot, too. So 15 was a pretty good day. 20 sounds even better, obviously.
Yeah, it's 20.
Nice.
And it's going to be
Good math.
20 in 20 different businesses. We're still figuring out the lineup. We're very far ahead, but we look at this, and I keep saying we. So if I'm speaking and not really representing us well, by all means, let me
You're
know.
doing a great job so far.
But so a lot of these brewery festivals too, they do what's called a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, well, you're coming here, we're going to give you this much money, but it's advertising for you.
Mhm.
And a lot of these breweries do it, but they lose money on it.
Yeah.
And we don't do that.
Yeah.
We're like, discount, cost, whatever you want to do, great, but it's a partnership, it's a collaboration. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to get the foot traffic into businesses, and every business that I've talked to about it who did it last year was like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%. You
Yeah.
know? And it's exciting. I mean, it's a whole day. And
It was a beautiful day last year, too.
we got
It was hot,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was moving a lot of things too, so maybe I remember it differently than most. But
Well,
yeah.
no, dude, I
Yeah.
remember because we were picking up stuff that morning.
Yeah.
We were picking up barrels. So this is all volunteer too.
Yeah.
Like nobody gets paid to do this, right? The
Yeah.
money goes to Bonafide. Bonafide does scholarship programs and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of cool community things with this money.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're getting paid.
Right.
And that day of last year, it was raining in the morning. We're picking up barrels from 4 different breweries.
Yeah.
And I'm going all over the place.
Yeah.
And then we're like dropping them off,
Yeah.
doing all that. The day before, we were weed whacking
Yeah.
on Lincoln Avenue. I'm like running out of battery power. I'm like, I'm done. So, yeah, this year we've worked out some of those kinks, and we've also like said, hey, like if you're gonna be here, like, bring reps, bring your own stuff, and do all that. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's been. I think last year was really great.
Yeah.
And that was without knowing everything we know now. You know.
For sure, yeah.
Was last year the first time you did the beer one? Because I know there was the wine crawl in Bellevue before. Was last year the first one with the beer? Or
Apparently there was one before, but I
Yeah.
only moved here in 2018.
Okay.
So I didn't know about whatever, but you were part of those ones,
Yeah,
right?
we did one in 2019, but a very small scale.
Yeah.
And that was more just home brewers.
Oh, okay.
So that was it was a success. You
Yeah.
know, like it was a great Kickstarter to the idea of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of just picked it up and ran with it last year.
That's so like the thing with bringing breweries in, and I say this all the time. Is like there's such good people more often than not. Like
yeah.
they're always willing to come in and volunteer and talk about their beer. We had, like you were just saying, Dustin from Hitchhiker. We had, someone from Hitchhiker. There was a ton of different places. Geez, you just said 15. I can't even think of all of them now because I think we had 10 or 11 people on,
Yeah.
and then we had a couple people from Bellevue just to get kind of their feel for it. But there was a ton of people there. It flowed nicely. It didn't feel like there was like a bottleneck anywhere either. Like there was,
Right.
it was spaced out, and it was really nice. And the way it paired with all the businesses and spotlighted the businesses, I think, is unique and very cool for this festival.
Yeah, I mean, we both live here, and everybody on our team lives here. Logan Robbins, who does our social media stuff and everything else, he's our tech guy. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He does great stuff. And he just moved here after we did, too. And I was speaking with the one of the members of Bonafide, or I was going to. He's like, hey, are you doing the brewery festival this year? I was like, well, I have this meeting, we'll see. And he's like, if you are, let me know, because I want to be a part of it. And I was like, we wouldn't do it without you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad he was ready to do it. But like everybody, I know that it was good because everybody after the fact was like immediately like, yes,
Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
whatever, And with us doing it bigger now too, like we're gonna have 4 different music stages.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
like it was 2 different locations last time. We put them really far apart because we wanted sound overlap.
Yeah.
And now we're like, no, just fill it with music,
Yeah.
fill it with everything, and it's gonna be really cool.
So the way, are you gonna stretch it longer, or is it just gonna be a more dense?
More dense.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't really stretch it that much.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
Once-
wondering.
Once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get up to like revival,
Yeah, right.
your next thing is like
Yeah.
Thai tamarind way
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And as much as I'd love to have
Yeah.
them there doing it, I'm like, that's that's
That's
at the end.
a little
I mean,
bit
it is a condensed business district, but like I did the numbers and we're like, well, there's 20 breweries in 5 hours, so that's like a brewery every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe you hit them all, maybe you don't, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like you're there and you're having fun, and like I made it a point last year, so I might have gotten a little bit drunk during it. So,
I have no
Oh, yeah, yeah,
room
I'm-
to speak.
I'm-
At the end, because we stopped back at 565, which I can. I hope they're doing another thing, or at least some of these places after.
for sure.
Yeah, I think Justin Sellers was playing after, and I love him.
Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty good.
Well, and you were talking before, and I forgot to mention
Yeah.
this. So Justin was part of this too. Like, you were talking about the brewery community and how good they are.
Yeah.
Well, we actually worked and put together a benefit for Grant Saylor and his family.
Mhm.
Because Grant, who owns Lincoln Avenue Brewery, had a serious medical
Right.
issue, and you have a serious medical issue in this country, you have a bunch of bills, right?
Yeah.
And in a
Right.
very short amount of time, like, first thing we did was reached out to a lot of the breweries, all the breweries that participated in the festival last year, and they donated so much stuff that we raffled off. We had Fermata and Penn at the event pouring outside. Justin played for free.
Yeah.
And like for a couple of hours, and it was packed.
Yeah.
Like packed. It really was like a really amazing reflection of this community.
That's kind of where my mind went, honestly, when we were talking about the Rhythm and Brews Fest was the Fort Grant or something. I think that was what it was called.
Yeah, it was just
and I stopped down for that, and it was like right outside there, and there were a couple breweries that were just pouring some things and music. And were there like gift baskets or something?
Yeah,
Was there an auction or something?
Baskets,
It was
50-50 raffle.
And it was a day, if I remember right, it was like questionable weather. Like it might have stormed, and it was packed.
Yeah.
And I think it held off, but yeah.
It was packed the entire time.
Yeah.
It was really, really great. And we did so here's a teaser. We did Beerview t-shirts for that, right? Yep. Which had like, it said Beerview, right? Put it on Bellevue, clearly. I don't need to.
It makes sense. I get it. I get it.
Cheech got it now. If he got it, anyone can get it.
And this was Dan's, like me and Dan collaborated on this.
Yeah.
Because Dan was like Beerview.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, put an outline of the map of the town.
Yeah.
And like, we sold out.
Yeah.
So we sold like 500 t-shirts.
Oh, wow.
All the proceeds went to them too.
Yeah.
We are doing a different new Beerview t-shirt for this
Oh,
one.
okay.
I'm not going to reveal it until a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a really, really, really special.
You got to get the year on it or something so
Yeah.
they can tell the difference, so you can collect all of them.
Oh,
You got to come every year now.
Yeah.
Well, this one's. I don't want to give a lot of things away,
Yeah.
but this one is like, this one's going to be a really, really special one.
Okay.
A really special one. And what's cool too, so by talking to people about this, we know a couple of businesses that are coming to Bellevue that aren't open yet.
Okay.
They're going to be taking part in this too.
Will they be open by that point, do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I talked to all of them.
Okay.
So there's a couple of places that are going to be really, really good for here. Like,
Mhm.
I'm very excited about these businesses. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I've spoken with the owners of these businesses too, and they have great plans. They're really excited about it and everything else. And like,
If I find out this is Arby's and you're just really into
Yeah.
it.
He's like for the community.
Dan, we're about to have the meats, man.
They do have the beats, man. I told you.
that would be the Route 65 Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Where you get your beer at KFC. No. It's there's a couple of like small businesses, and that's part of the cool thing about this for the businesses in Bellevue here too. It's not like you walk up and down there and you've got like a Dollar General and whatever, and like a Papa John's that nobody probably really goes to, and like a couple of other things, but it's not corporate. It's all small businesses that and like we frequent them. Like you see Dan's work, and we go to 1867 Tattoo to James, who's like one of the nicest human beings on the planet.
Absolutely.
We both get tattooed there. And, like, I go to the brewery all the time. I was in there on Sunday. I got to see Grant and Lisa. And
It is. It's like you're playing a video game online. You're like, what do I want in my town?
Right.
I want a brewery. I want a tattoo parlor. I want an Arby's. You have everything that you want. It really is. And you can walk there. Like, I used to live right down by Tamarind. Okay, I was
yes.
I know it starts with a T, and then they got nothing. But yeah, I used to live there, and like I would just walk up, and you can just walk up one side of the street and come back. There's a bakery. If you want to go get your tarot cards read, like there's everything.
Yeah. We
and plenty of pizza.
Well, what's funny is the pizza places don't really. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So slices.
Yeah.
But we can't do that. But we're working out a lot of the kinks. We have a meeting coming up this week, and we're going to finalize a lot of the details. But it's just going to be even bigger and better.
If you have people walking around drinking and you just handed them a slice of pizza and said it's $18, like I guarantee people would buy that.
Yeah, that's
Especially after
Here's
7 o'clock.
Here's a 20,
Yeah.
cuz keep the change.
What a deal.
Seriously, it's a real opportunity for the businesses here too.
Yeah.
But
And it's an awesome opportunity for anybody outside of the area to come in and really see what it is.
so we were able to look last year and see where, like zip codes, right, where people came from, and only 40% were from the 15202 area.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
we
wild.
went to all the breweries. So Logan put together the poster and it has all the logos of the breweries, the date, time, whatever, and there's a QR code that literally goes directly to ticket purchases.
Mm-hmm.
And we put them in all the breweries that were participating. So if people were there hanging out, they're like, look at this, boom, done, tickets. And we got a lot of people who, I can't tell you how many people came in here and were like, we didn't even know it was like this.
Yeah.
You know, they still think of it as Bellevue, the dry town.
Right, yeah.
Which changed, what, 8 years ago?
Something like that.
Something like that, and, you know, but yeah, and now they're like, oh, there's all this stuff over here, and then the idea is they see that and they come back and they want to do it again, you know, and I mean, both of us live here, and I can't say enough good things about it. Like, it's a really, really good place, and it gives some shine to this area, and gets a lot of people over here that otherwise might not come over here. And then, you know, like, the best example I had was, because I didn't even know it was there for a long time, was the pinball dojo, right? There's this space, and I know we talked about this, but there's this space, it's upstairs, but it's this huge area with a bunch of pinball games, modern, retro, whatever, pool tables, darts, air hockey, blah, blah, blah. And they'll do like 5-hour blocks for $15 all you can play.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
sounds
BYOB.
fun.
Yeah. Like, how cool is that? I had my
Yeah.
45th birthday party there, because
Nice.
that's a very grown-up thing to do.
Mhm. Absolutely.
No, but it was awesome. Like, everybody had a good time, you know? And people don't know that's over here. And then they do that, and they're like, wow, it's only like $15 and you can bring your own beer.
Yeah.
Right, like...
Oh, it's a.
That's a blast. Pinball is so fun.
Mhm. Right, and like, not just that, but all the other stuff they have there,
Yeah.
too, that people don't realize, you know? We want to show that to all the businesses, so...
So you said there's 20 businesses, 20 breweries. Are you able to talk to us about some of the beers that you brought in for us right now?
Well, Dan can tell you some of the
Oh,
breweries.
okay.
if
Some
you
of the
recall.
breweries.
Yes.
So we got 11 hours committed.
Yeah.
We've got Fermata, Penn,
Mhm.
Dancing Gnome is committed. Obviously, Lincoln Avenue Brewery. Who else do we have?
Ultra Genius.
Ultra Genius.
Trace.
Yep, keep going.
Mindful Brewing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You got, so there's a different one this year,
Oh, that's
too,
right.
Right? Dan actually spoke with these guys. Goodlander. They're a cocktail
Oh, okay.
brewery.
Oh,
So
okay.
they do large batch cocktail brews.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
So
that's-
are they like the Long Island in a can, or are they
Oh,
beers
no.
that are flavored like something?
No,
or
No,
what?
it's so it
or what
is
is that?
like high end cocktail Moscow mules. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but it's not in a can. Like,
It's
they
not in a
brew
can,
it
right, yeah.
and pour it like you would
Oh.
beer.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right,
We've-
pretty cool.
We've been there. They're on the other side of town. We've been there a couple of times, and just fantastic. Everything they have is
Huh.
great, and I think it's going to be something nice aside from beer.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so if you don't, really fancy beer, you've got Goodlander as an option. So
Oh, yeah, that's
and,
awesome.
and all the breweries are bringing at least 2 varieties.
Right,
Sometimes up to 4.
Yeah.
We've also got Cobble House. So some of the new ones we added. Penn's new.
Mm-hmm.
My very good friend Stefan bought Penn,
Yeah.
and he was immediately. I congratulated him, and the first question he asked me was like, "So we're going to be on the brewery festival next year, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, of course."
Yeah.
And they're doing cool stuff over there. Like Penn is a landmark, right? It's great.
Yeah.
But Penn was also like the first of its kind, and not the first of its kind, but one of the very early breweries. And they didn't really have to like adapt their model. Then you had all these like a brewery
Yeah,
explosion,
right.
and they didn't really change with the times. And he's going in there and he's like, "No, we're going to do some really cool stuff," and he's doing it. And
I
he's
agree,
doing it.
I agree with that because I've always kind of liked Penn, but it felt like it was, I don't know, kind of like you were saying, kind of not
It's
as
it was
modern.
antiquated.
Yeah.
It was antiquated. And Stefan is a really like forward-thinking guy. Like
Yeah.
he's younger than me, and he's a real estate broker. He has his own brokerage.
Yeah.
Like he's got property management. Dude does not stop.
Yeah.
He's also like always doing stuff. He's a great dad to his daughter, and
Yeah.
like he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy a brewery."
Yeah.
Right? And then but he's doing it,
Yeah.
and he's doing a great job with it. And like I'm excited for him to be there because people think of Penn and they just think of the stuff that you would buy
Yeah.
at the distributors, but there's stuff happening there. He's doing can releases and live music and like
Yeah.
really cool stuff. And we added Strange Roots is going to be on there. I'm really excited about them joining us this year because they do a lot of different like brews. Coven is one I'm really excited about. So they're in Lawrenceville, and
Okay.
I may be incorrect, but what I understand is their head brewer was one of the brewers at Dancing Gnome.
Mm.
And they went over to Lawrenceville. They have a really cool spot, and they do some really good beers too. And they caught my eye, so they can, but their cans aren't like these flashy
Yeah.
like labels. They're like white and it looks like watercolor paintings or like illustrations
Yeah.
on a lot of them, and I'm like, that's different.
Uh-huh.
Tried their stuff, and everything I've had there is really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's an opportunity for them to get their name out there too, because there's a lot of other places in Lawrenceville that have been around a long time,
Right.
and it's absolutely a gem. Like the space, the beer, everything.
Yeah.
It's
I would
really
think that would be a
good.
good opportunity for some of the smaller ones. You know, people are coming to see the bigger breweries,
Yeah.
and it's a chance. Okay, well, yeah, I'm in between 11th Hour and Penn or something, and I'm a smaller one that's just open.
There's Arboretum Trail too,
Yeah.
which is in what used to be the Couch Brewing facility, which was cool. And those guys are super nice. And we were down there sampling. We just passed them, and we were like, let's talk to them. And they're like, we're in. And we want to give exposure to like the smaller breweries too.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with big breweries, and that's fine. But like, they've already got a base. They're gonna make their money, whatever, and they're already doing their thing. And why not put some shine on some of these other places? We went in there. They had a habanero wheat.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't love wheat beers, but I had that and I
Yeah.
was like, damn, dude, I would slam these. Like,
There's something about like peppers and beer that is so
yeah, and
good.
it wasn't overly done. It
Yeah.
was like enough, and it had like a nice hint after the fact. It was still totally drinkable.
Mhm.
They're doing really neat stuff there too, and it's a space that definitely deserves some exposure.
Yeah.
because they're putting the work in and they're coming up with some really good stuff, and I'm excited to have them there too.
I'm drinking this one right now from Penn Brewery. I'm normally not a stout guy. It tastes lighter for a stout, but it's a chocolate meltdown. It's actually really good.
Good.
It almost tastes like. This is a weird way and it's not going to sound kind of complimentary, but the way I'm thinking of it is like there's like almost like a caramel and a chocolate, but it's like almost like a watered down cola, like a Coke or like a Pepsi, and that's almost what it tastes like. But it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a lot of stouts sometimes will like fill me up and stuff. This I feel like I could drink multiples of these and be okay.
Yeah, they do another one too. Scott Strait, who's also
Yeah.
on our crew, that does this.
His voice is in our outro forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to listen to it, man.
That's awesome.
Any Bellevue people, you gotta listen to the outro for Scott's voice.
That's amazing. I had no idea. He went over to Penn and they had a German chocolate cake beer, and he was like, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, you know. I was, like I said, I was there last night watching night 2 of WrestleMania and drinking all their beers, and I'm like, we're really excited because, like, everybody who's involved is excited too. Like,
Yeah.
it really isn't. We're not twisting any arms.
Right,
You know, last
yeah.
year we had to kind of like establish who we were and lay a groundwork, but I think we laid such a good groundwork that people now are reaching out to us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's different.
Well, I think what was important too is about what you guys did last year too is like it was so quality and professionally done that I think that like that was clearly shown, and maybe people that didn't know at first are like, oh, what are we getting into? Now that they know, oh, these guys give a shit kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let me get back in immediately.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean,
It was awesome. I loved it.
we didn't know what we
Yeah.
were doing.
Yeah.
So, so the fact that it came off as professional, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think
Even if you don't know what you're doing, the fact that you're doing, I think that's huge in anything. Like just doing something is 85%, if not more than that.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I feel very, very fortunate. Like, I'm not blowing smoke up his ass, but like I wouldn't be able to do it without Dan.
Yeah.
Like he had so many good ideas and put in the time with me. And you're a busy dude. Like, he's got kids and he's got his job and he's got whatever. Like, we're all busy people, but like, you know, he put in all this effort. And Ann Blazer was doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes last year, even though she wasn't like part of the committee. And we're like, yeah, please be on the committee this year, you know. And like, people put in the work and they care about it. And you know, we understand that it's not just like, this isn't an excuse for people to like party down and get drunk.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine if you do. I'm not knocking that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking
That's
that.
what I'm
but-
gonna do.
Right,
But, yeah.
right. But like, at the same time, this is, you know, this is our community. This is our town, and we want people to see how much it's changed and how much it's grown and the good things that are happening here. You know, because a lot of the times with certain areas, you only hear about like, it's the same way I talk about like reviews that restaurants or places get, right? Like, a person that has a great time is less inclined to give a review at all, because they're like, that's what you expect. Somebody who doesn't is going to leave a shit review.
Yeah.
You know, so you hear certain things and you don't know these places. And a lot of people who came here, like I said, they were like, we didn't know it was like this. And I'm like, it's like this.
Yeah.
And it's getting better all the time. And it's you know, there's people that actually want to be here now. They're not looking to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a huge change for an area. You know, and the good thing too is, so we do this too because we want people to find out about what's going on in these other areas. Like, you know, people talk about McKee's Rocks, right? And McKee's Rocks, it's still got plenty of room for growth, right?
I promise you, everybody who's listening to this right now knows what McKee's Rocks is.
I know.
Okay.
But here's the thing: what they don't know is Abjuration Brewing is over there, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
They're super good people.
Yeah.
And they have this outdoor area that you can sit in, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They're attached to the Parkway Theater. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
I was just gonna say, there's places back there like the
They're
Parkway that are
attached
cool.
to it. And
They're right there.
yeah, and you can literally rent out the Parkway like a 40-seat theater,
Right.
And just like watch a movie, get your beers over there, and like, and the Roxy's over there.
Yeah.
There's stuff there.
Right, yeah, for
But
sure.
people go, look, I'm not going to McKee's Rocks.
Yeah.
Go to McKee's Rocks and check these places out. Fermata and Ultra Genius are in Ambridge, and I think they're some of your favorites.
Yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're out there playing
Great guys.
guitar
hang-
hero.
yeah, hanging out playing rock bands.
Yeah, I mean, they, you know, and they have live music and they do cool stuff. Like, and people don't think about Ambridge. You
Yeah.
know, there's other places that we've talked about. Like Monaca just got a brewery.
Yeah.
Monaca Brewing. I haven't talked to them yet, and
I was just about to go over. That's like 8 minutes from where I live now.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm super curious about it. There's a place called Missing Link that's on the way to Butler. There's, you know,
Yeah.
Union Brothers, which is over in like Harmony.
Mhm.
There's all these places that people don't realize, and you know, doing what I do. So like, this is not a shameless plug, but like I'm a real estate agent, and I tell people all the time, look, if there's a brewery going in, and there's like a good restaurant or two going in, like start looking there and start paying attention, because you know, those are destinations and those are things that people want, and you want to be around those things. I didn't want to move to the house that we moved into, but you know, my wife told me it was a 4-minute walk to the brewery that was going in, and I was like, all right,
Yeah,
you know,
check it out.
I didn't want to see it,
Yeah.
and then you know, we ended up buying it, and now you know, I know their whole family really well, and that whole place. So like a big part of the reason that I love Bellevue so much, and I don't mean to ramble, but like I've lived a lot of places, and it's the easiest place I've found to make genuine good friends quickly and easily.
I believe that.
And part of that was that community. I go over to the brewery and just start talking to people. I mean, I met you via John.
Yeah.
John
And-
Green.
yeah, during election day.
Yeah, during election day. But then, like, you know, it was like, well, let's go grab a beer. And
Yeah.
go there, and, like, you're a great friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can say that about a lot of people here. And that's a community. That's what you want.
Right.
So the idea is, like, not just the businesses here, but these other breweries, like, if they come here and they have great stuff, hopefully people go and see them and spend their money there, and don't, you know, drop it on Miller Lights at some shitty bar.
Yeah,
where it's,
right,
you know,
yeah.
the money's going to Miller, right?
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful opportunity for everybody, and like we look at it that way.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Anybody who wants to find out information, where can they go to find
So
it?
there's a Facebook event page for it, and there's an Instagram page. It's Rhythm and Brews Brewery Festival. Rhythm is hard to spell for some people, including me.
Yeah.
And I
Fuck
spelled it
yeah,
right.
it is.
No,
Dude, it's so. Where's the H going? Where's the Y going?
There's too many H's.
Any word that has 2 H's is fucking terrible.
Dude.
Right? But I
Get outta here.
yeah, my autocorrect.
Are you gonna spell it for him?
RHYTHM.
There you go.
Yeah, you got
We
it.
got
See,
it.
no autocorrect.
All right.
So there's the event pages there. That's just for now, and we're announcing. I mean, we said some of the stuff in the lineup tonight, but we're announcing stuff on a weekly basis, and we're probably going to increase that because by the end of this week we'll have like 18 weeks. So we have to announce. We want to announce the businesses that are taking part of it too. We want to announce the music acts.
Yeah.
I mean, we already announced Justin Sellers and Brett
Yeah,
Brew
right.
are playing the Center of Bellevue.
Oh, cool.
From 4 to 6:30
Yeah.
to kick off the thing, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're awesome. And we've got other bands that we're going to be announcing, and you know, we're just putting it out there as it goes. But the best thing you can do is follow the event page, because as soon as we have a link for tickets, we don't have that up yet. We're doing the software so that we don't have to do a staggered check-in.
Yeah.
And everybody can just first come, first serve, get in.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as we have a ticket link, it's going to be up there. And I can't say it enough. It's not just me like promoting it. I mean, it is, but it's not. You need to buy your tickets as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's going to sell out. Even with us increasing it, we can only increase it so much. It's going to sell out. And what was funny last year, this was a thing where I was like, whoa, wait, we did something. Somebody found them like off-site black market tickets.
Oh.
I bought them and it was a scam. And I'm like, no shit. I'm like, well, dude, clearly we did a real event. You know?
It's so funny you said that because we did online tickets for our thing that we just did on Wednesday, and I was like, I was telling the person working at the door, I was like, if somebody comes in with a fake ticket, you let them in. I don't care. Like if they're forging a $5 comedy ticket on a Wednesday, you earned it, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Scott, in all his social grace, knew who it was, and every time like he would pass him, he's like, "Hey, tell him the story." I got ripped off, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't rub it in. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah,
You know?
it's funny once or twice.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
8
Oh.
times between 4 businesses.
Right. Like, don't, dude. But to even further that too, I know. After the fact too, because it's done at 9, right? Like the pours are done at 9. But I know that 565 is going to have live music. I know that 202 is going to have live music.
Okay.
I know that Lincoln Avenue Brewery is going to be staying open.
Yeah.
So there's going to be places to go after the fact too, which is really great because, like, again, you're spending more time here, you're learning more about this place, and like, it's an awesome experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I like I said, I can't recommend it enough. Very quickly, Cheech, let's go around the horn. You want to talk? Just say what your beer is and give it a quick ranking. Jeremy, I don't remember if you remember the Guy Fieri flavor ranking system that we have.
Yeah.
Gangster is 1 star. We have Out of Bounds at 2 stars. Shut the Front Door is 3 stars, and 4 stars is Flavor Town. Cheech, how about you kick it off?
Shut the front door. Pretty good.
And what do you have?
Shut the front door, cuz. I got some star from 11th hour.
Booming like a speaker.
Kettle sour.
Oh, that one's good.
With blueberry, lemon, and ginger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The,
You just
the interesting thing with that one, that's a collaboration brew that they do for Barrel and Flow.
Right.
And Barrel and Flow is the week before
Uh-huh.
Rhythm and Brews.
Okay.
So, like, you really want to have a good time, go to Barrel and Flow.
Yeah.
And then go to Rhythm and Brews,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. You're not going to go wrong going to any brewery festival, I don't think. And especially those two. Barrel and Flow is like internet or like naturally ranked. Is one
Yeah,
of the
Barrel
top
and Flow is a big deal.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We're not Barrel and Flow, but, like, we are a nice...
We're the Barrel and Flow at Bellevue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm cool being Robin to that, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm still fighting crime.
There's a place for it, man. Jeremy, tell us about your beer that you're drinking. Or beers.
Well, yeah, beers,
Yeah.
plural. It's always beers, plural. I have the Dancing Gnome Garavogue.
Oh.
It is a dry stout, and Dancing Gnome is a very like hop-based brewery, so stouts aren't always their thing. It's still a Shut the Front Door.
Oh.
It's
Shut the front door.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's not overwhelming as a stout.
Yeah.
It's just solid and smooth the whole way through. And then the Penn Brewery IPA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
solid. That's Shut the Front Door.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
Now that you say that, I don't remember Dancing Gnome for a stout at all. I always see them like, I think Lustra, it's like a IPA.
That's
they
an
do have
APA,
it.
yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's their stand, like their
Yeah.
hallmark beer. So I used to live over in Blawnox before Bellevue,
Yeah.
and they were in Sharpsburg. So
Yeah,
it's like this
yeah,
whole strip,
right.
yeah, Blawnox.
Yeah, that's it.
There, blown
I know.
off.
Again, though, another area where like you'd be surprised by what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? And we would go to Dancing Gnome before they opened their second facility, and like it'd be packed, not enough chairs, and everything was an IPA. And I'm like, and now like they're doing this other stuff. They opened a much bigger facility. They have a much wider selection. Their new facility is awesome. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm an IPA guy. I love Dancing Gnome.
Yeah,
They're one of
yeah.
my favorites.
For sure. And I mean, they have a quality. They're nationally recognized
Yeah.
for being like super quality too. So, yeah.
All right, Dan, are you able to see it, or do you remember?
11th hour.
Yeah.
Doughboy American Pale Ale. It's a Shut the Front Door for sure.
Oh, okay.
Drinking all day long.
Yeah.
So
And the
Does it
horn.
have-
Let's make it happen.
Does it have the ABV on that?
5.3.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's very drinkable
Dan was
throughout the
actually
day.
at 11th hour.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
The other day.
Yeah, that's why I had to drink.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Danny?
All right, I have a Dancing Gnome as well. I don't know why I have a complex about trying to pronounce this. Preluge, I don't know.
Prologue.
Prologue.
Yeah.
It's described as having hints of spring blossoms and sticky pine, which I love. It's very fresh. It's a pale ale. I'm gonna go shut the front door, not because I feel pressure.
Come on, Chris.
But because I feel it in my
Come
heart.
on, buddy.
I feel peer pressure.
No
But you know
pressure.
what? This is for a stout. I'm going Flavor Town. Unfortunately,
Welcome to Flavor Town.
I'm not bowing down.
All right,
Cheech.
all right.
This is a Flavor Town, and I'd be doing Penn Brewery a disservice if I was
Yeah,
just.
I only was gonna be pissed off if you went out of bounds. So
No,
I mean,
this is
at least
delicious.
you went
I didn't
a
think I
step
would
higher.
like this.
Yeah.
And then I saw the chocolate, and I was like, yeah, I might. This is very good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one I wouldn't have ordered, so like I'm glad I got to try something like
I
this.
picked that one out and
Yeah.
I hesitated because anything that says chocolate, I'm like,
Yeah.
that could go like
Yeah.
one of two ways. Either it's going to be really good, but most of the time it just tastes like a melted candy bar.
Well, I'm glad I went this way, not like the coffee kind of vest, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one I don't taste any of that.
Awesome.
But both of you guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course.
Whenever the tickets go out, I'll be sure to post that with our
Thank
stuff and
you.
let everybody
Thank
know.
you.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot recommend this enough. We had a blast last year, and I'm looking forward to it
You
again.
guys are going to do
Yeah.
a live one with us this year?
I would love to. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Danny,
we'll talk about that on Thursday.
you weren't there last year, I don't think.
No, I wasn't there.
It was
last
Shay
year.
and I had an absolute blast. Everybody I talked to had a great time, and I got like 5 or 6 sound drops that we still have from there. So
Yeah.
I
I'm so
went on. I
excited.
went on with
Yeah.
Dan's son, who was.
oh,
pretending to be
is that
Dan.
who that was?
He was
Yes.
pretending to be
Oh,
Dan.
no
That
shit.
Was his son.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember you saying that, but I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
recognize the
I
name. That's
was
funny.
more than half in the
He
bag.
was very comfortable on a microphone.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that sticking out to me.
I was like, come here, you're gonna be Dan. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
He represented well.
I think so, absolutely. But thank you guys both. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back with Terry.